Bit of a strange quote from the president of the FIA, Mohammed bin Sulayem. I know that's very much unlike him, isn't it? He absolutely always talks perfect sense and doesn't say anything out of the ordinary. Oh no, that's not him. But he said that he's got a good relationship with Max Verstappen. But why is he coming out and saying this? It's just a bit of an odd thing. Is it because of Horner being sacked? Let's have a look, guys. Got the full story here on the channel for you as always. The FIA's reigning president insists that he has a, quote, good relationship with Max Verstappen. Since taking over from Jean Todt at the end of 2021, Mohammed bin Sulayem has been a highly controversial figure in the world of motorsport, clashing not only with members within the Paris-based federation, but also inside the Formula One paddock. Some believe that the 63-year-old Emirati's poorest relationship, though, is with Max Verstappen, who was sent to carry out community service after swearing during an FIA press conference at last year's Singapore Grand Prix. Like I said, my man was sent to Rwanda. I mean, he was also there to do the prize-giving thing, but bin Sulayem threatened to not give him the championship trophy unless he spoke to them school children. You know, that's not really healthy, I'll be honest. But anyway, having assumed a lower profile in the last several months, I mean, it's relative. The guy is still at the forefront. He was still very much there, prominently displaying himself at the British Grand Prix after the race, congratulating the drivers, but I digress. It is relatively lower for him, I suppose. Bin Sulayem is now re-engaging with the media, as the FIA boss looks to go on the charm offensive ahead of his re-election campaign for the FIA. And indeed, bin Sulayem is now insisting that he is patching up relationships with top F1 drivers. He said, and I quote, "I've sat with them, and with WRC and other drivers too. They all have my phone number. But if we're to talk about, say, the ban on swearing on the on FIA channels, believe me, I'll always stick to that. I was a racing driver myself, but I never swore." Call him on that. We just have to control ourselves and the drivers too. They're all intelligent people, ambassadors of our sport. In fact, they are the future of our sport. Bin Sulayem recently agreed to dilute the harshness of the potential penalties for drivers swearing, but insists he will not back down completely. For me personally, Muhammad Ali was the greatest sportsman in the world, and I never heard him swear, and I never heard Lewis Hamilton swear either, not in any of his teams. Again, pretty sure I've heard Hamilton swear at different points, so call him on that. And yeah, Muhammad Ali, I mean, different era, I suppose. He definitely said some interesting stuff to his opponents over the years. Very much the master of the trash talker was Muhammad Ali. Pioneer of trash talking, I guess you could maybe say. I don't think anybody really did it to the same extent that he did before then. And yes, to his credit, to his very small credit, I mean, he's created a problem and solved it, sort of. They have loosened some of the regulations around the swearing and stuff like that on the channels. So, you know, if you swear during the race in the car, you're all right. It's just outside of that, if you do something like that, then you're going to be in trouble. So far though, I don't think anybody has been fined in Formula One yet. I know there was a few rally drivers that have been fined very controversially for breaking these rules, which, yeah, not a big fan of that. And like I said, bin Sulayem insisted that his relationship with Max Verstappen is, quote, fine. Max is a great champion, a young champion too, so he's hungry, smart, and he really wants to win. The same goes for Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, and then there's Charles Leclerc. They're all fantastic drivers, and you see them mature, quickly. 15 years ago, you didn't see so many youngsters on the grid. Now I remember signing Kimi Antonelli's super license and seeing that he was 17. When you let that sink in, it's actually incredible. I agree with him there. It is incredible how young these drivers are, and they're getting younger and younger, you know. They are getting snatched up by these driver programs from these Formula One teams at an ever younger age. It's not uncommon for them to be in these driver programs from like 5 years old, 6 years old nowadays. So even though they are very inexperienced in life, they are very experienced in terms of racing, you know. So for lack of a better term, they are clearly groomed for these positions in Formula One teams from a very young age. They are used to the simulators, they are used to the teams, practice sessions, all that sort of stuff, testing. You know, they are integrated and they're so young, so that even though they are super young, really, they're actually quite prepared. I mean, you look at the programs and stuff that the likes of Antonelli have done just to get into Formula One. So yeah, we're just going to see that even more and more. But is his relationship with Verstappen good? I don't know, man. I mean, it's, you know, he might claim that, oh, it's business, it's sport, you know, it's not personal, but I don't know, man. It feels pretty personal. I'd take it pretty personally if I was Verstappen having to do what he did. And the things that bin Sulayem said about him, you know, like I said, threatening to keep the championship trophy. If you don't talk to those school kids in that little village over there in Rwanda, you ain't getting this trophy. You know, that did not seem like a hollow threat. That seemed pretty legitimate, to be honest. So, yeah. But yeah, your comments are appreciated as always, guys. Get them in the comments below. Have your say down there. Like, share, comment, subscribe. You know how it works on here. And have a great day wherever in the world today, guys. See you soon.